Hi, I'm Steve Seabolt, and I'm here with Cheryl Taylor, president of the Foellinger Foundation. The Foellinger Foundation has 3 opportunities to discuss with Allen County nonprofits. Lately, you've been trying to put a message out to local Allen County nonprofits about 3 specific grant opportunities, and you have some news about those 3. Can you tell us which 3 opportunities we're talking about today?
The Foellinger Foundation has 3 very specific opportunities open to all Allen County not-for-profits, and that's the first thing I want to be clear about. Most of our grant making is really restricted to those not-for-profits that serve children and families most in need. These opportunities are open to everybody. The first one is our Inspire grant category. The second one is called Strengthening Organizations, and the third is the Carl D. Rolfson Stewardship Award.
All right, so those are the 3 things we want to talk about today. On your website currently, you have a page called Seeing Things in a New Light, dedicated to these 3 grant opportunities. What is that theme all about as it applies here?
Well, it really has a double meaning. The first meaning is to be able to share with people that there are some changes regarding at least 2 out of these 3 opportunities. And the second one is to focus on the organizational effectiveness itself. And so these opportunities are ways to allow the individual nonprofit organizations to see things in a new light.
All right, Cheryl, with that background, let's jump right in and talk about these 3 opportunities, beginning with Inspire. First of all, for people who may not know, tell us what the Inspire grant opportunity is and what's new.
Inspire is a special grant opportunity that we created in 2008 when the foundation celebrated its 50th anniversary. And it was really designed to be a one-time only grant opportunity. We were so excited with the results, and so many of the organizations went way beyond what they anticipated themselves, that this past spring, the board actually approved Inspire as a full-fledged continuous grant category. So what's the Inspire grant? The Inspire grant is something way out of the norm, I think, for us and for a lot of the not-for-profit organizations. And it's really a chance for those organizations to sit back, to reflect, to renew themselves, to think about how they could do things differently. So it allows an organization to have its board and its staff engage in different ways to think about things. Some people take a sabbatical. Some people just change the way they work. Some folks did some special planning. Some people created book groups. There's 2 phases to the Inspire grant. The Inspire phase itself, which is up to $15,000 for all those reflection activities I just discussed. And the second phase is the action phase, and that part of the grant is an additional $10,000 where people will put what they learned into action. And that's where the part gets both interesting and tougher.
Very good. And so Inspire is back and people can apply for an Inspire grant this year. How would they do that?
Inspire is permanent, which is pretty exciting. And they would do that by going to our website and downloading the application, and those applications are due in September.
Good, so that's Inspire. Now let's shift gears and talk about the second of the 3 topics that we want to cover today, the Strengthening Organizations Grant. Now that's not entirely new, but some things changed last year and they've changed back. So give us the current state of the Strengthening Organizations Grant.
Well, it isn't new, and I'm really glad you said that, Steve, because I don't want someone to come away from this interview or any of our other announcements and say, gee, that's something they've had for a couple of years. The whole purpose of strengthening organizations is, in fact, contained in its name, to strengthen the organizations. And these are funds that are provided to help an organization look internally at itself. What's new about this is that in 2008, when the economy had a bit of a challenge, we made some changes to it. And at that point, we said you could only use strengthening organizations for one purpose. We flipped it back again, and it now has multiple purposes. And I think that that will actually be much more useful to most organizations. An organization may apply anytime they want, and we'll usually respond to them within 30, maximum of 60 days.
So what types of things can an organization do with a Strengthening Organizations Grant?
Again, they must be looking at things that are related to the internal administration of the organization, but they could look at succession planning, strategic restructuring, mergers, that's a hot topic these days, financial planning, just a variety of ways to help the organization itself become much more powerful. The applications are on our website. You can certainly download the template. Of course, I would also add here, we still have people on the telephone, so if someone wanted to call and actually have it sent to them, we'd be happy to do that. And the questions are pretty self-explanatory. We do have staff who are happy to talk to someone if they have some specific concerns about the questions, and they would just submit the application with the required attachments.
All right, Cheryl, so that's the Strengthening Organizations Grant. Now let's shift gears one last time and talk about our third topic, one of your favorites, I know, the Carl D. Rolfson Stewardship Award. This started a few years ago. Tell us what people need to know about that.
Part of what people need to know about that is that it's named after Carl D. Rolfson, who's a former board chairman and was Miss Helene Foellinger's personal advisor for 25 years. And Mr. Rolfson really demonstrates the importance of being a good board leader. So the Rolfson Stewardship Award is open, again, to any Allen County not-for-profit organization who would like to nominate one of their board members. We use a document created by a group called Board Source, which talks about the 10 basic responsibilities of nonprofit board members. Again, all of this is on our website, the nomination form with the specifics. But the point is to have the not-for-profits nominate a board member who has done something absolutely terrific for them and something that will carry through in their work in the future. So every year we have anywhere from 25 to 40 nominees from a wide cross-section of organizations. And the real value, I think, for the organizations and for us is to get to know more about these nominees. Each nominee receives public TV and public radio recognition for a considerable amount of time, 6 to 8 weeks, I believe. And then we have a wonderful luncheon where 200 or 300 members of the community come together and we recognize each of these people individually. The recipient organization for the Rolfson Award actually does receive a grant, and $10,000 of that is for operating support, and $7,500 of it is for additional board governance work.
So for each of those nominees, this is a way for their organization to shine a spotlight on the great work that they've done. And that's really what the program is all about, as I understand it.
That is really what it's all about. And our goal is to really lift up the importance and the value of volunteers in the community and of those volunteers who serve as good board members.
Okay, Cheryl, so that wraps up the three things that we wanted to talk about today. The Inspire grant opportunity coming back, that's new. The Strengthening Organizations grant and the changes in that. And the Carl D. Rolfson Stewardship Award. So let me wrap up by asking you sort of go back to where we started and discuss the big picture of how these three tie together in terms of seeing things in a new light.
Well, the big picture of how they tie together, again, is related to the fact that the Foellinger Foundation's emphasis is on funding effective organizations. And one of the ways that those organizations become more effective is if they have some help to do that. So these are 2 grant opportunities and a recognition award that are designed specifically to help organizations become more effective. They are open to any Allen County nonprofit organization, not just those who serve children and families, but any of them. And we welcome the grant applications from any of those organizations. So seeing things in a new light allows those organizations to see the changes that we have made, to see and understand those. And secondly, it allows them to take advantage of these opportunities so they can see their own organizations in a new light. And then the real goal, of course, is to serve their clients and their consumers better.
Terrific, Cheryl. Well, thanks for sharing that information today.
We hope everybody will take advantage of this information and that we'll see lots of great applications and nominations.